Memphis has always had a reputation for producing kings of the streets, kings of the music, and a few stories that never leave the shadows. But in this city, loyalty can be a weapon, and ambition can turn friends into threats. At the center of it all is CMG, Yo Gotti's empire, a label that once seemed untouchable, with artists lighting up the charts and the streets buzzing nonstop. On the surface, it looked like a winning family, Moneybagg Yo bringing hits, Blac Youngsta keeping the energy wild, and Gorilla rising fast. But behind the glossy Instagram posts and sold-out shows, tension was simmering. And in Memphis, nothing stays quiet for long. People in the city started noticing patterns, whispers that couldn't be ignored. Every move, every post, every public feud had a story behind it. And in CMG, those stories were anything but simple. Fans loved the loyalty, the chaos, the unpredictability. But the closer you looked, the more dangerous that loyalty seemed. Blac Youngsta, once the heart of the label, was starting to look like a ticking time bomb. And if Memphis taught one lesson, it's that in a city this small, the energy you send out doesn't disappear. It comes back around, sometimes in ways you can't control. But the truth isn't just about Youngsta. To understand the tension building inside CMG, you have to rewind the story. This isn't just a label with a few internal problems. It's a saga where past rivalries, street politics, and personal grudges collide. And it all starts with one man who changed everything: Young Dolph. Years before the chaos around Blac Youngsta began, there was Young Dolph, a name that commanded respect in Memphis and beyond. Dolph wasn't just another rapper, he was a force. Yo Gotti, building CMG into a powerhouse, saw an opportunity and tried to bring Dolph into the fold. But Dolph said no, straight up. No negotiation, no compromise. That single moment flipped the script. What might have been a simple business deal turned into a simmering personal rivalry. From that rejection, the tension started creeping into every corner of Memphis. Yo Gotti didn't just accept it quietly, he allegedly tried to block Dolph's moves, slow his rise, and assert control over the streets he claimed to dominate. And while Dolph wasn't one to back down, those actions planted seeds of conflict that would echo years later. The city was watching, fans were speculating, and the small-town energy of Memphis amplified every slight, every diss track, every heated interview. Diss tracks flew, public statements turned messy. Every feud in the music started to bleed into real-life street tension. The streets didn't just follow the music, they became part of it. And in the middle of it all, a new player was emerging: Blac Youngsta. He wasn't just riding the wave, he was about to become one of CMG's most visible and most dangerous assets. But at this point, the role he would play wasn't just about hype or music. It was about survival in a world where loyalty and risk were two sides of the same coin. And just like that, the foundation was laid. The rejection of Young Dolph didn't just create a rivalry, it created a pattern that would eventually define what loyalty really meant inside CMG and how one wrong move could change everything. Blac Youngsta wasn't just another name on CMG's roster. From the moment he stepped into the spotlight, he became the label's wild card, the unpredictable spark that kept the streets talking. Videos of him pulling up to neighborhoods, flaunting money, and stirring chaos online weren't just marketing stunts. They were proof that CMG had someone willing to go where others wouldn't. Fans saw it as fearless loyalty. Stan G, a voice deeply plugged into Memphis, saw something else: risk. At first, it worked perfectly. Blac Youngsta was the hype machine, the loudmouth, the one who could do things other artists wouldn't dare. CMG stayed viral, the buzz never stopped, and the streets loved it. But Stan G's perspective highlighted a critical truth. Youngsta wasn't just performing loyalty, he was the label's send-out. Every risky move he made, every stunt, was designed to shield Yo Gotti from the fallout while keeping CMG in the spotlight. It was clever, it was bold, but it came with hidden dangers. Youngsta's energy became CMG's double-edged sword. On one hand, he was the label's life force, keeping fans engaged and the streets alive with chatter. On the other, the same wild energy tied him to every rumor, every legal brush, and every tension still lingering from Young Dolph's death. In a small city like Memphis, nothing is private for long. Every post, every video, every cryptic caption was dissected, analyzed, and judged by fans who watched loyalty and danger collide in real time. And here's the twist. What once made Blac Youngsta the label's greatest asset, his fearless, chaotic energy, was about to become its heaviest burden. Because when Dolph was gone and the city's eyes turned inward, the same wild moves that thrilled the audience started looking reckless, even dangerous. CMG's empire wasn't just about music anymore. It was about survival, influence, and knowing exactly when loyalty could turn deadly. After young Dolph's death, the energy that once made CMG unstoppable began to feel heavier, almost dangerous. Blac Youngsta, who had been the label's spark, suddenly became the one carrying the baggage. What fans once saw as fearless loyalty, the stunts, the wild videos, the non-stop hype, now looked reckless. Every move he made seemed tied to past conflicts, old beefs, and legal trouble that could drag the entire label down. CMG's momentum started to shift. Moneybag Yo, who had been flooding the charts, slowed down. 42. Doug ran into legal trouble. Even the energy and buzz that once defined Blac Youngsta began fading. In the middle of all this, Gorilla emerged as CMG's last shining star, almost single-handedly keeping the label in the spotlight. But one artist carrying the empire wasn't enough. The streets noticed. Fans noticed. The picture-perfect image of CMG was cracking, and the cracks were widening. What had made Youngsta so valuable, his willingness to take risks, to be the loudmouth for the label, was now turning into a liability. Stan G, always plugged into Memphis's underground, warned that in Yo Gotti's world, when someone becomes a risk, their time can run out fast. And with past tensions from young Dolph still heavy in the air, every action by Youngsta was scrutinized. Every cryptic social media post amplified. Loyalty alone wasn't enough to protect him. It might actually put him in danger. The label that once seemed untouchable was now in survival mode. Fans whispered, the streets speculated, and CMG's public image began to feel fragile. What once looked like power, success, and unity now carried shadows of doubt, tension, and fear. And in Memphis, when the energy shifts like that, nobody walks away untouched. Then came the signs everyone could see, but few fully understood at first. Blac Youngsta started deleting CMG from his social media bio. He posted cryptic captions that weren't just random thoughts. They were shots fired, messages to someone, and warnings wrapped in emotion. Words about fake loyalty, fake bosses, and trusting the wrong people caught fans' attention immediately. Suddenly, what had looked like online chaos turned into something heavier. The vibe around CMG shifted almost overnight. Stan G, a voice deeply connected to Memphis's streets, dropped his own warnings. He said straight up that Yo Gotti might turn on his own artist if the situation called for it. And in a label built on loyalty, power, and fear, that wasn't a joke. Every post from Youngsta, every move that seemed rebellious or emotional, now carried a weight fans hadn't felt before. This wasn't just trolling. This was someone navigating dangerous territory, where the stakes weren't just reputation. They could affect freedom, safety, and survival. The tension became palpable. Fans started noticing that CMG wasn't the same tight-knit family it once appeared to be. Every action, every video, every post felt calculated, and every cryptic message led to endless speculation. Who was safe? Who was next to fall? And more importantly, was Youngsta overstepping the line in a world where lines were the difference between thriving and getting burned? The streets, the fans, and even the casual observers could see it. CMG's unity was cracked, and the danger was real. Youngsta's boldness, once celebrated as the label's signature energy, now made him a possible liability in a game where loyalty could be just as deadly as betrayal. What had once made Blac Youngsta invaluable, his fearless loyalty, his wild energy, his willingness to risk it all, started to look like a liability. In CMG's world, every move is watched, every action has consequences, and the streets never forget. What once drew attention and built hype could now bring legal trouble, bad blood, or worse. And with the memory of young Dolph still heavy over Memphis, nothing Blac Youngsta did went unnoticed. Yo Gotti, calm and calculated, built his empire like a chess game. Every artist, every post, every stunt had a purpose. Stan G pointed out that in a world like that, when someone becomes too risky, their usefulness is reevaluated fast. Blac Youngsta had been the label's loudmouth, the one who would crash into every mess, handle every risk, and make CMG stay relevant. But now, the same energy that once made him the heart of the label was seen as dangerous. Every cryptic post, every video hinting at betrayal, made him a potential threat in the eyes of his boss. Fans could feel the tension. What once looked like loyalty now seemed reckless. The streets watched, whispers spread, and even casual followers began to question CMG's stability. The idea that someone could be too loyal, too bold, or too visible to be safe was a lesson that didn't always come with a warning. Sometimes it came with consequences. And in Memphis, the consequences could hit hard and fast. With loyalty turning into liability, CMG wasn't just facing internal conflict, it was standing on the edge of chaos. And for Blac Youngsta, the very traits that once built his reputation might now threaten everything he worked for. Once Blac Youngsta started posting cryptic messages and deleting CMG from his bio, the fans went wild. Every move became a headline, every caption a debate, and every video a new piece of the puzzle. Speculation ran rampant online. Some thought it was just trolling, a momentary flare-up to grab attention. Others saw it for what it might really be, a warning, a message, and a sign that something inside CMG was seriously wrong. Social media amplified every tension point. Fans dissected his posts about fake CEOs, fake love, and fake loyalty. They noticed the bitter, personal tone. It wasn't about flexing chains or flaunting money. It was about isolation, betrayal, and realizing that even in a label built on loyalty, the walls could close in. Every fan following CMG could see the cracks forming, and rumors started spreading like wildfire. Was Youngsta leaving CMG for good? Was Gotti ready to cut ties with his once loyal soldier? Even the streets took notice. In Memphis, nothing stays hidden, and everyone pays attention to energy. The way Youngsta moved, the way he posted, the way he stayed silent at times, all of it sent signals that this wasn't just online drama. CMG, once untouchable, looked fragile. Momentum was slowing. Artists who had been on top started fading. Gorilla was the last spark, carrying the label on her shoulders, but one artist alone couldn't hold an empire together forever. The tension reached a boiling point. Fans, the streets, and even casual observers could sense it. CMG's golden image was cracking. Every post, every move, every cryptic message was another confirmation that something bigger, darker, and more dangerous was brewing behind the scenes. CMG, once a powerhouse in Memphis and beyond, isn't untouchable anymore. What looked like loyalty, energy, and success has become a fragile house of cards. Blac Youngsta, the label's wild card, the one who kept the streets buzzing and the brand viral, is now the one carrying the weight and the risk. Every stunt, every post, every cryptic message adds to the tension, and fans can feel it. The empire Gotti built, based on loyalty, hustle, and power, is showing cracks for all to see. The question isn't if CMG is facing trouble, it's how far Yo Gotti will go to maintain control. In a world where loyalty can turn deadly, where the wrong move can have serious consequences, the stakes are higher than ever. Blac Youngsta's unpredictability, once an asset, now makes him a potential liability. And with past rivalries still hanging over the city, every action feels amplified, every decision crucial. The streets are watching, fans are speculating. Even artists within CMG know that the label isn't the same. Gorilla may be the last spark holding the empire together, but one artist can't carry the weight forever. The momentum is fading, loyalty is cracking, and the picture-perfect image of CMG is gone. The real story isn't just about music anymore, it's about survival, power, and knowing that in Memphis, energy comes back around. So what happens next? Will Blac Youngsta push too far, or will Yo Gotti assert control in ways that could change everything? Only time will tell. For now, the empire stands at a crossroads, and every fan, every street observer, and every insider knows the stakes are higher than ever. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did Youngsta cross the line, or is Gotti's control starting to fracture? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories straight from the streets of Memphis.